And now what everybody's been waiting for patiently, another edition of Brooke's Buzz. Buzz. If you're watching this on YouTube, wow. I guess it's more than me watching now. But thanks for watching. We put this segment up on YouTube, but we have a full podcast, The People's Rose, where we talk about in-depth, more about other reality shows that we watch, Big Brother, the Golden Bachelor that's coming up. What else is coming up? Bachelor in Paradise, Love is Blind, F-Boy Island on CW.
Oh my goodness. When is that starting?
Soon, I think.
Oh my goodness.
So there's just we're gonna talk about a lot on the podcast, so there's more in store if you like Brooke's Buzz. But let's get into it. Brooke, what do you have for us this week on Brooke's Buzz? We're excited. What's going on?
Let me pull out my handy dandy notes. So, since we're really only doing Big Brother right now, I'm really heavily leaning in towards TLC.
Okay, we got another TLC edition.
So, I have caught up on 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, which is airing currently. And it is it's tough. It's a toughie sometimes.
The Other Way is tough.
Sometimes it's a tough watch. Yeah. There's a lot of culture shock that's happening.
Right.
So not to say that doesn't happen when they come to the U.S. too, because it definitely does. But
right.
I think a lot of times these people do not have any idea what they're going into.
Oh, okay. The Other Way is when the people go to their country as opposed to the U.S.
Yeah, so it's like the U.S. citizens are moving to the other countries.
Okay, gotcha.
So there's really only one couple that I'm really invested in, and that's Mary and Brandon.
And this is a current season? Are you rewatching?
Yes. No, this is airing right now.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's not true. I'm invested in another couple too. I just can't remember their names. But for right now, we'll talk about Mary and Brandon. They're both very young.
Yeah.
He's had a rough life.
Where's set the stage? Where's she from? Where's he from?
So she lives in the Philippines. Can't quite remember where he's from in America. But USA.
Yeah.
But yeah, he decides to uproot everything and move to the Philippines.
Okay.
And they're very young. They're very seemingly in love. I mean, it might just be an infatuation, but TLC sets the stage up where they're on the phone 24/7. Okay. At one point they showed us him going to the bathroom and her being propped up. It was a little too far, but that'll tell you.
Right.
They're literally on the phone 24/7, and she gets insanely jealous.
Yeah.
He's flying over to the Philippines to go be with her, to change his whole life.
Yeah.
Mind you, he didn't have a lot going on in America.
Okay.
He wasn't really happy. He had a rough childhood. He was separated from his siblings at one point. He had to live with his dad. His siblings had to go into foster care. So it was a lot, right? His mom was a drug addict, and he also had a really serious relationship where she cheated on him. And so he was ready, right? He's there's not really much for me here in the U.S. I'm going to go to the Philippines.
Okay.
So while he's on the plane flying to the Philippines to move,
right,
they're showing us screenshots of these texts between the two.
Yeah.
And she's like, if you're sitting next to a girl, it's over. Don't even worry about coming here. And it's I don't know. Okay, in her defense, I don't know if she knows that you don't really pick who you sit next to.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But at the same time, slow your roll. He's on his way to move there.
Right.
He can't really just bail now.
Now, is this self-sabotage? Is she just looking for a last second reason because things are changing fast and the best she could come up with, there's a girl on the plane? What?
You know, I don't know, but once he does get over there, the jealousy thing really does become like a bigger, like she has some really deep-seated issues. And you know, she even said it's because I was abandoned by my parents when I was a kid, so it's really hard to trust people. But like, she really needs some therapy.
Yeah.
Like, real big time therapy.
Right.
And you know what? He does too. Because he also shared that he went through a lot of stuff when him and his ex broke up.
Yeah.
So, you know, there may be a little bit of codependency thing going on, but I just really am rooting for them.
Well,
I want them to make it work.
Let's say they moved to Houston and they're looking for some counseling. Is there anyone you know or recommend?
Yes, I will be the counselor.
You're a counselor. Okay,
totally
cool.
open to it.
Yeah.
Would love to work with you guys. Let's do it if you move back to the U.S.
Okay.
I actually really was wondering what therapy was like in the Philippines, if they even have it, if they know about it.
I'm certain they have therapy.
But there might be like a big stigma attached to it.
You're right.
There is here too.
You're right.
I don't know. So anyway, I really like them. I'm rooting for them. You know, this might be getting a little out of PG territory, but she lives with her grandparents, and her grandparents were like, he needs to ask us before he can kiss you and hug you. Well, she didn't tell him that, so when they first met at the airport, they were like hugging and kissing, and her brother was like, her brother was there, and she was like, you need to stop, you're misbehaving. So they did. And then they got to the home, and her grandpa was like, what'd y'all do when you first saw each other?
Oh, my goodness.
And he was like, oh, we just, met and then came here. And she's like, I'm really glad that he didn't tell them. And then she was like, well, then it came time for bedtime, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, she was like, if you have to ask them if you want to share a bed.
Yeah.
And so he did. He asked, can we share a bed? And Grandma was like, sure, but you can't make love.
Okay.
So, of course, he was a little disappointed. I say, of course. He was a little disappointed.
Now,
she
are they all
already
sleeping in the same
knew.
room?
They're not all sleeping in the same room.
Okay.
They have a private room.
Okay, so, I mean, the cameras didn't go in there. There's no way to verify that they did heed the grandparents' orders, is what I'm saying.
The cameras went in there for a minute.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's not like grandma, and maybe they did. That's what I'm asking. Did grandma and grandfather constantly check? You didn't realize this was going to be Brooke's buzz, huh?
Right. I don't know. But I will say this. She did say on the show that she is a virgin. And she said, I am not ready to have sex with you yet. And he said, okay, that is okay. I respect him for that.
I appreciate the respect and the boundaries. I'm pretty sure the Philippines there's a strong Catholic.
Yes.
They're very Catholic in the Philippines, and not just like American Catholic. They're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like, well, I take that back. I apologize to any of our Catholic listeners.
No disrespect.
No, but I think they really heed a lot of that, especially the older generations.
Well, it's interesting you say that because she is Catholic, and that's another thing they do is they go to her Catholic church. And she's like, it's important to me that we go to church together. And he's like, he's not fully on board, but he's open to it. And it's also hard for him because he doesn't speak the language.
He doesn't speak Tagalog, and he doesn't. Is he a Christian as well, or no?
No.
Okay, well, he'll learn a language, learn about God,
Yeah.
This will be good for, what's his name again?
Brandon.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure either, what their plans for marriage are, but he's there. Okay. He's living there. I'm rooting for you. Keep going. Okay, so next up we have 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Okay. Now, this is also airing, but I'm not caught up yet. I probably will be by the next time we meet. Episode 1 comes in with a bang. Okay, we meet Tyree.
Mm-hmm.
Tyree is in a relationship with this girl, this hot baddie from Barbados.
Where's Tyree from?
Jarrett, I don't know. The U.S., but I don't know where.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Is Tyree boy, girl, male, female, old? You know what I mean? Is he
That's
older?
where he's from.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I would like to know. I don't know anything about Tyree. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's like 33,
Father,
African American,
kids,
no family.
good job, bad job.
Doesn't work because he takes care of his mom who is sick.
Okay, now we know about Tyree. What else?
He's also very like keeps to himself, doesn't really go out much.
Okay.
So we meet Tyree. He talks to us about his girlfriend Carmela.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they're building it up. They've been talking for 4 years. They haven't gotten a chance to meet yet because money's tight.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out that they have only communicated through Snapchat for 4 years, every day.
Yeah, you talked to me about this.
And then we find out...
So our catfish radar is already up because, right, okay.
So then we find out that they haven't video chatted, right? And so I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, these producers are dirty for doing him like this. They know good and well that these are all the red flags. Like, this is not real.
Right.
So by the end of the episode, the producer, they break the, what's it called? The fourth wall? The third wall? Fourth wall.
It's the fourth wall.
Fourth wall. And they're like, hey, we got to talk to you. Like, we don't have to air this. But I have to tell you something. And like, we don't even have to use any of the footage that we've made prior, but we're pretty certain that you're not talking to the girl you think you're talking to.
Right.
And we're pretty certain that it's a male. And poor Tyree, he is very sad, of course. And he's also like not able to take it in. Like, he's not able to...
That he's been catfished.
Yeah. Like, he's not able to fathom that.
Right.
So then they proceed to kind of tell the story of him finding this out. You know, shout out to his sister, because she comes into the picture and she is so sweet to him.
Yeah.
Helping him, like, try to see and understand and know, like, dude, it's okay. Like, it happens. But yeah, I'm not to the end yet, so I don't know, and it's still airing, so I don't really know where it's gonna go, but it turned into an episode of Catfish.
Yeah.
So, you know, I used to love Catfish back in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my Before the 90 Days update. Sister Wives, I watched, but the episode was just... It just was draining.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. In the Real Housewives world.
Okay, we're off TLC.
We're off to TLC. We're moving into Bravo. Real Housewives. Update on Jen Shaw from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay,
if you don't know, Jen Shaw is locked up.
Right.
Okay, she got into some trouble with the law.
Scammed
old people, took money from them.
Yep.
So now she's locked up, and guess who's in jail with her?
Who?
Elizabeth Holmes. None other than Theranos.
Theranos
Queen. Another scammer. And guess what? E-News is reporting, People is reporting that they have buddied up in jail.
Of course they are. Because
they're buds.
Think about oh my gosh. How did I not hear about this?
Yeah.
Okay. This obviously makes sense. Jen Shaw is like clearly wants the fame, wants the attention.
Yeah.
Right? So she wasn't just gonna, I mean, I guess if she had no other choice. If there's another famous person in jail, she was gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe us celebrities are in jail, right? She's gonna network and make connections. And then Elizabeth Holmes, maybe one of the most scammiest scammers of recent memory. Of course. Like, I think
yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I also would like to say that they're in Bryan, Texas. So if we want to...
Bryan, Texas? Where's that?
You don't know where Bryan, Texas is?
Where's Bryan, Texas?
Right by College Station.
College Station? Where's College
Oh
Station?
my gosh, stop. Okay, but if we wanted to take a little road trip, podcast on the road.
To prison?
To go visit the gals in prison?
In prison.
We could. Do you think they're accepting unknown visitors?
I think as we're labeled the People's Rose, this could either go one of two ways. We go and... No, I'm not even going to make that joke. No, I don't want to take a road trip to Bryan, Texas to go to prison.
Dang, okay, fine.
I mean, I'm sure there's tons of other stalkers that will do that, and I don't want to get on an FBI watch list.
I mean, valid. Valid.
Right.
Okay, fine. Okay, scratch that. But yeah, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City has started a new season, and I'm very curious to see what it's going to be like without Jen Shaw. I just haven't watched yet.
Okay.
By next, I'll report back.
Okay.
Because I know you're all waiting with bated breath.
You know what? For the people, this what did I call it? The Venn diagram of people who watch what am I saying? TLC and listen to this. It's been very informative. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
And we got some Jen Shaw sprinkled on top.
Thanks.
If anything, I have been educated on all the stuff I missed. This is actually a good way for me.
I know, to get the cliff notes.
Yeah. Because this is why we did this.
I know.
This is what we do anyway, is talk about
exactly
the stuff I missed, and that way when I do come in and watch half an episode with you, you just go bam, bam, bam.
Exactly. You're like, oh yeah, I remember you talking about them.
You know
I remember you telling me about them.
For the guys who are listening, you know what I mean, whose wives watch these shows, this is what this is for. Brooke's doing you a service.
Go.
She's giving you the lowdown so you can walk by and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? What's that guy's name? Is Tyree, even though he's being catfished? And she's like, oh, how do you know? Brooke's Buzz on the People's Rose. Thank you,
You're
Brooke.
welcome. You're welcome.
Any more buzz this week?
I think that's it.
Okay. That's it for Brooke's Buzz. Like I said, I don't have a segment, but we'd like to throw in some other reality shows we watch, which at this moment is just Project Runway, which ended last week. You know what I realized?
What?
We released this episode now on Friday, right? And Project Runway comes out on Thursday. So we talk about episodes that are a week old at this point. I kind of knew that was happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, Project Runway ended a week ago, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
So just really quickly, what'd you think about the winner, Bishmi?
I thought he was great. I thought he did great all season. I really feel like now looking back, they really were setting him up. Like they gave him an edit, like a winner's edit.
Week 3, I mean, he has a very inspiring story.
Sure.
His sister passed from cancer maybe a couple months before he got on the show. So he was thinking about it, dedicating his competition to her. He was giving and making great looks. So it wasn't undeserved. I do think his finale was a little... But you're right. I think we both said like episode 3, we're like, okay, Bishmi's definitely gonna win.
Yeah. You know, the thing I don't like about it is that when they do a regular season, they do they go home and they have like 3 months and like thousands of dollars to create a collection.
Right.
And they're so much better than All Stars when they have like 8 looks in 8 days.
8 looks, 8 days. It's not Fashion Week. It's really just, it's kind of, I would say, I wouldn't call it watered down, but it's definitely not what you typically expect.
Right.
So I think the looks kind of suffer from that. You don't have months of creativity. You've got hours.
Right.
So you're right. We can hold that. We can't hold that against them too much. But I do think Brittany, who's from Austin, Texas, go Texas, her like athleisure-ish, close to high fashion attempt, she's going to be successful somewhere. And I liked her. I think she deserved to be there. Laurence did a great job.
I mean, she is like her stuff looks rich. Like, I feel like she could get in to...
For those watching the video, we put Brooke's Buzz on YouTube as well. You've seen me looking and watching my fantasy team. The quarterback for my fantasy team is going off right now. It's a little behind the scenes. This is Brooke's Buzz, but it's about Jarrett's fantasy
Let me
right
just
now.
say, this is the one thing that do not see eye to eye on, and that's football.
Listen, not to derail the show, but you want to know what the ultimate reality
TV
show is?
Gosh.
American football.
No.
NBA basketball.
Listen,
Major League Baseball.
I forget that football even exists until September rolls around, and then I'm like, oh,
you want to talk about reality storylines? Sports.
Oh.
You know what? Oh, my goodness. After Brooke's Buzz, we're going to get a Jarrett. Oh, I got to name it a segment. But we are going to get a reality sports segment. I'm going to take. Yes. I'm going to give you the drama.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that. I have never needed our listeners more than I need you right now. If you would like to hear, it's not even going to be long. If you would like to hear a 2-minute rundown of the drama of the sports world from the last week,
I would be okay with it if it was behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the scores because I know the scores.
Okay.
People who come to us aren't going to want to know the scores because they're listening for it, right? But if they're just like, listen to this. Just like you're giving me the rundown on the drama.
Okay.
If you listen to the People's Rose and your husband watches sports, right? I'm just 2 minutes of your time. I'm going to tell you all the behind the scenes drama. So when you walk by your husband on a Sunday or your wife, women like sports, but if you walk by your spouse or your partner while they're watching sports, and you'll see someone that Jarrett's talked about and his reality sports segment, and you'll go, oh, really? I know the drama there. Your spouse is just going to walk up there and make out with you instantly because you've shown the dedication.
There's some deep-seated dreams in that. But, okay, I can handle that. Like, you'll say, give us an example.
Okay, so, again, I don't want it to be long because this is a reality podcast. But let's see. What's the most dramatic thing that's happened from the past sports in the sports week? The most that I can think of, and this isn't really that even juicy. No, you're right. That wouldn't work. Okay, it's a work in progress. It's not a guarantee to, for lightning to strike immediately.
I have some sports news.
What's your sports news?
I can't
wait to hear this.
You're gonna kill me. Savannah Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best is dating some football player whose wife tried to murder him. Shriver?
No clue.
You don't know?
No clue.
Oh, sorry.
Now, how is Savannah is Savannah Chrisley the daughter? Because aren't the parents in jail?
Yes, it's not. Yes, it's the daughter.
I was about to say, okay. But you know what? That's a good angle. Maybe I approach because there's always some reality TV star trying to date an athlete.
Yeah.
For instance, Hannah G from Pilot Pete season is dating an Eagles football player. Who's playing the Eagles right? Who are they playing right now? The Eagles. I'm watching them on TV. Maybe that's the angle. I find every reality star.
I'm interested in that.
I find every reality star that's dating someone from the sports world, and I tell you everything you need to know. This is a synergy of the two worlds, or whole sports, reality TV coming together to make a beautiful segment on the People's Rose. You saw it here.
You heard it here first.
This is where it happened. This is the birth of a segment.
This is the only podcast where you're gonna get it all.
You're gonna get it all. I actually saw. I'm not gonna even talk about our competitors, but I actually saw a podcast where they're talking about sports from a different perspective, but they're not talking about reality TV. This is the only podcast where you find out that Jarrett's winning his fantasy matchup and what's happening in the world on TLC.
Okay.
How does that sound?
I think, what more could you want?
I'm pumped.
What more could you want?
I'm pumped. Let's record our next 15 podcasts right now.
Now, we do need to go back and revisit what I was saying about Project Runway.
Okay.
I don't even remember what it was.
No, go ahead. I was joking.
No, I really don't remember what it was, except for that I did like all. I was saying Laurence. I feel like she really could, like, luxury high-end leather jackets, leather pants. Like, she is she would be perfect for that. Like, go to some, like, I don't know, the richest of the rich.
Yeah, maybe custom tailored leather
like
pants.
She's killing it in that. And
You're
so
right.
that'll be great for her. Brittany, I loved Brittany's collection. You know, I love Brittany. I mean, look, maybe I'll buy some of her. What?
You're just making a declaration of love for Brittany.
Okay. Well, I might buy some of her stuff. I don't know. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, you know, her husband and her live in Austin.
Yeah.
So maybe on the road trip to stalk Elizabeth Holmes and Jen Shaw in prison, we swing by Austin and stalk some more reality TV stars. Let's just get on every watch list we can.
Let's do it. Let's do it. No, but also Bishme, I really can see him like designing for the red carpet.
Oh, he definitely will. Yeah. He was really close to Christian Siriano. But I think I could see him having a similar, although probably less successful career. Sure. Christian Siriano is like one of a kind.
The most successful from.
Right, but Bishme could follow that path in his own way.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we had in addition to Brooke's Buzz this week.
I think that's
has been a pumped episode of The People's Rose.
Pumped up.
I'm sorry for going crazy because of Big Brother. We got a full range of emotions from this past week. But that's just a love and dedication that the Johnsons have for competitive reality TV. And if you enjoy seeing that dedication to reality TV coverage, continue to listen, watch, subscribe to The People's Rose. You can listen to us on any, we're losing Brooke, on any podcast service that you like. We're there. You can watch us on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're really kind of doing too much for the reach this show has, but we're going to continue to do it.
We're going to keep it up.
And if you like it, please rate and review us on your podcast apps. It really helps us out. And we hope to hear from you. Reach out to us on social media, but we hope you hear from us next week when we drop another episode of The People's Rose. We're getting close to Golden Bachelor, so we have that to look forward to. We're getting close to Bachelor in Paradise. We have that to soldier through.
Whatever.
But we just thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace and blessings.
Yeah, right? The Lord bless you and keep you.
Wait, do you remember that video? Peace and blessings.
No.
Oh. It was like a viral. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Turn it off.
Bye. Before we talk.